Good evening. A former nurse has told ITV Meridian how she was forced to wait hours on a trolley in a corridor at the Queen Alexandra Hospital in Portsmouth. It emerged this week that patients have been waiting up to 7 hours in ambulances queuing outside the hospital. MPs have met with the hospital's chief executive in a bid to tackle the ongoing problems. Mary Stanley has more.
Kim Puddock spent 4 hours on a trolley in the doorway of Portsmouth's QA hospital after a severe reaction to out-of-date medication left her in agony.
If this was an 80-year-old that had been admitted unwell but alone, they wouldn't have been there by Monday morning. They'd have died in that corridor Sunday night, early hours of Monday morning, because I really thought that that was what was going to happen. I thought, this is where I'm going to die.
Earlier this year, the Care Quality Commission rated the hospital as inadequate, with patients at unacceptable risk. Now MPs from the region have met the interim chief executive for reassurances about the future.
We have to hold on to the fact that the Care Quality Commission did say that the QA was excellent on a number of areas, including intensive care, very good at things like maternity care and services for young people. But this A&E, this front door service, is absolutely fundamental. We have to get it right.
The hospital says it can't comment on Kim's case because of confidentiality, but added, "Our emergency department experienced a huge surge in demand on Monday, with large numbers of patients needing urgent care, including those involved in a serious road accident. We continue to urge people to think about their choice of healthcare, for example, consulting a GP or local pharmacy. This allows our emergency department to concentrate on those people with serious life-threatening conditions." Off-camera, staff here told ITV Meridian that this week's problems in A&E were not one-off, that they're working under relentless pressure, that recruitment of staff is difficult and morale extremely low. Kim's case is one of many, and other patients have contacted ITV Meridian to praise staff for coping with such huge demand. Mary Stanley, ITV News, Portsmouth.
Well, South Central Ambulance Service told us that meetings with senior managers at the hospital have taken place to identify the issues that led to delays for patients. It said it would like to reassure people that despite the number of ambulances waiting at the hospital, there were still vehicles available in the local area. Some of the poorest and most vulnerable families in the south are missing out on free childcare. In Southampton, hundreds are not taking advantage of the scheme aimed at 2-year-olds. I've been meeting families who are benefiting. Twins Jaden and Scarlett intent on building bricks. Born 10 weeks early, their development accelerated by a year in playgroup.
I was very worried because there was a lot of stumbling. We thought that they were going to be a bit backwards and that their prematurity was going to be an issue. No, the teams have been fab.
From the age of 2, children are entitled to up to 15 hours a week free childcare paid for by the government if their parents are on £16,000 a year or less, receive benefits or support under the Immigration and Asylum Act. Those with special needs also qualify. But many vulnerable families are not coming forward, and that's of particular concern in Southampton, where nearly a quarter of children live in poverty. Just over 900 children received free childcare in Southampton this summer, but that's only 70% of eligible households. The government's national target is 80%.
The initial way that parents would find out about it is they would be getting one of these postcards. But I think because we get so much stuff through our doors, when parents actually see this, they might think it's a circular and just throw it in the bin.
It's not about shoving school down their throat earlier. This has been proven to help young children to get a good start. It helps in terms of how ready they are for school, and there's been links made between this kind of early intervention and then their outcomes and their performance at things like GCSE later on.
I'm a single mum. The twins were totally unexpected pregnancy and a big surprise when I found out they were twins. So I did struggle a lot with my mental health when I found out I was pregnant with the twins. I've had a little bit of time to myself, been able to sort of see if I'm able to go back to work or to chase up courses that I wanted to do.
Another 300 2-year-olds in Southampton could be enjoying free childcare. The City Council believes there may be cultural barriers. Early education is not usual in some ethnic minorities. It hopes to convince every family of the benefit. Proposals to create 2 super councils in Dorset by reorganising 9 local authorities have been raised during Prime Minister's questions. A public consultation over the plans closed yesterday. The MP for Christchurch, Christopher Chope, called on the government to confirm it will not agree to the abolition of Christchurch or East Dorset councils against the will of constituents.
We believe it's important for local people to come together and to determine what is right for them. I know my right honourable friend is trying to build a consensus in Dorset as to what the right way forward is. I think it's right that local people are able to respond to the consultation and that their concerns are listened to.
Football and Southampton are through to the next round of the EFL Cup after beating struggling Sunderland and St Mary's. The final score in that game was 1-0. And finally tonight, a group of children from the south living with serious illnesses and disabilities have just got back from a special holiday in Florida. The 10-day trip without their parents was organised by the Dream Flight Children's Charity, as Lauren Hall explains.
They're finally here in Florida, and they're ready to have some fun. The Dream Flight trip's now in its 30th year. It's for children with serious illnesses or disabilities, and being here's got them jumping for joy.
Florida! really happy! I can't contain myself.
There are groups of children from all over the UK. In the Mickey Mouse group are those from the south, who told us how much they're enjoying themselves. Are you having a good time?
Yeah.
It makes you feel happy? Yeah. Are you having a lot of fun?
Yeah.
Can't really describe it, but it's had so much fun.
It's easy to see why the children are enjoying themselves so much, but this trip's not all about rides and roller coasters. It's also a chance to make new friends and gain some independence.
The children are here without their parents and are being looked after by a huge team of volunteers.
We've seen kids try stuff that they maybe at the beginning of the week thought they wouldn't, and now they're having a go at stuff and also just doing all the big roller coasters and really testing themselves and doing stuff that they just didn't think that they would.
Many of these children simply wouldn't be able to come here without the support of the medical team, made up of doctors, nurses and physiotherapists.
Having a good time is a form of treatment in itself, and it enables them to get more confidence. It enables them to know that there is such thing as fun in the world. They're all treated as equal and they're seen as the people they are, not what they've got. And I think that makes a huge difference to the children.
Their trip wouldn't be complete without meeting Mickey Mouse and some of the other cuddly characters.
Yay!
There are more friends to be made when they go swimming with dolphins.
Do you get to give one of them a kiss?
Yeah.
What was that like?
First kiss ever.
Your first kiss ever?
Yeah.
It's particularly special for Harley from Wimborne in Dorset, who's blind.
Very, very good.
Just describe it. What did the dolphins feel like?
Very, very rubbery.
And what sort of noises did she make?
Like clicks.
All the children have been making friends and making memories. As it comes to an end, it's clear this has been so much more than just a holiday. Lauren Hall, ITV News.
Beautiful weather there. What's in store for us here? Here's Simon.
From sleet to the slopes, driving through Europe. Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian weather.
Good evening, and you'll be pleased to know it's another quiet night tonight. If you missed the mist this morning, this is how it looked at Corfe Castle, and there'll be plenty more to look forward to tomorrow because, well, it is going to be another murky start, and once again it could be a bit slow to clear. Once it does, we'll see the cloud break up and we should get some bright spells on the go. But the general plan doesn't change. High pressure staying in charge, keeping the weather fronts to the north and to the west of us, and that means we're in for dry and settled conditions. So tonight it's mist and fog. That means we've got that Met Office weather warning that stays in place until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Well, we've got the cloud. At least the temperatures are fairly mild, 8 or 9 the overnight low. But if you do wake up to that grey mistiness, it's going to take a while to lift. So give yourself a bit of extra time and expect some travel traumas. But once it does lift into low cloud, the cloud will tend to break up and we should get some bright bright spells through the day. There might be an odd spot of drizzle here and there, but for the most part it's going to stay dry with very light winds too, probably around 5-10 miles an hour. And the temperatures, because there's a bit more cloud, not quite as warm as it was today. Temperatures up to around 13-14 degrees. And then for the outlook, nothing changes as we head into the weekend.
Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian Weather.
That's Meridian News and Weather this evening. We're back during Good Morning Britain from 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. The news, as always, on our website. From all of us here on the Late News team, have a very good evening.